Hi, everyone. In case you weren't aware of this, my name is Lauren Lundberg. I know it says Julianne Slane. I am not Julianne. I'm sure most of you realize that. But I've been a coach for almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years in December. So first off, I want to start by welcoming all of the new coaches on the team. We're so happy to have you here. And if you are new and you're not really sure what to do, make sure you get started in the Fit and Free 101 group. It'll just be a really easy way for you to get started. And then also don't be afraid to reach out on the team page. We have a lot of resources available to you in that. So, okay. Secondly, a big thing that we've been working on in our team page lately is just going back to the basics. So doing the 4 vital behaviors, and if you're not sure what the 4 vital behaviors are, it's walking the walk. So just making sure you're drinking your shake every day, making sure you're getting your workout in. The second one is invite, invite, invite. So that's inviting people to a challenge group, inviting people to the coaching opportunity. And then the next one is personal development. There's a lot of different ways to get this in. You can listen to podcasts, you can read books, you can listen to audiobooks. I've fallen in love with Audible, and I get a free download every month. So if you're needing personal development ideas, make sure you reach out to your sponsor or on the team page, and we'd be happy to share ideas. I know I'm always looking for new personal development ideas. So, and then the last one is recognition. So if you have someone in a challenge group who's completely rocking it, make sure you give them a shout out either in your team page, or you can even give them a shout out on your personal page. Give shout outs to coaches in your downline who are doing awesome. Even if you don't have any personally sponsored coaches, if there's people on your team doing awesome, feel free to give them a shout out. We all always like hearing what we're doing well. So, we have a lot of announcements. There's a lot of stuff going on coming up. The next one, or I guess the big thing coming up, is Summit. And I think there's a lot of us going this year, which I'm really excited about. If you're not able to get to Summit, plug into it as much as you can. There'll be some live streaming options, and then we'll also do our best to like post content and stuff that we are learning while we're there, so you can apply that right away. Also, if you go to Summit, make sure that you make a list. If you even if you're not there, if you hear of something, make sure you make a list of the things that you want to take action with right away. I remember last year I came back and I had like a notebook full of ideas, but it's one thing to have all of these ideas, and it's another thing to take action and implement those ideas right away. If you can't go to Summit, we have a Super Saturday coming up on August 6th. I know there's one in Iowa. We are actually hosting one. If you live in Iowa, you're welcome to come to that one. I think Julianne posted a link to how you can find a Super Saturday that's near you. If I don't see it, I can post it in the group again too, so that you can find one. It's a super great way to get connected with the community, and it just, live events, I know you've heard me talk about them before, but they're crucial. So if you haven't gotten to a live event, make sure you get to one. Next we have the 7-day Shake It Out Challenge. You have to get into the group, you have to purchase a 7-day sampler. And I've been coaching for, like I said, about 1.5 years, and I had already bought a sampler pack through my account. I had already bought one through my husband's account. But when I bought it, it was a 5-day sampler. And now since they've moved it to 7 days, you can actually purchase it again, because it's technically different. So you can purchase that through your account. Otherwise, if you can't purchase it through yourself or a spouse, because they only limit 1 per person, you can just like make up another email account and order it through there. Yes, yeah, you can only purchase it once. So, and then on August 1st, we have another SOS event coming up, and it's on Secrets of a Sneak Peek into Coaching. So make sure you get on that. Our SOS groups have been really great, full of amazing content. And then raise your hand if you are already set up with the Team Cup team. Almost half. Okay, if you're not on a Team Cup team, make sure you find one. Find people. You can have 5 people, including yourself. You can only have one diamond rank or above on your team. So if you're looking for somebody, make sure you start connecting with people. We can start a thread in the team page, but they're so fun to be part of. And I think every time that I've been in a group or a Team Cup or something like that, it builds so much momentum. It's just nice to have that group support. And then something that I learned this week, hopefully you listened to the National Wake Up Call. I've heard this quote so many times, but I just really I reflected on it throughout the week. And the quote that she said was, if you want something different, you have to do something different. And it just made me reflect, because I've heard that quote so many times, but the way that she said it just put so much ownership on yourself. And I think a lot of times, like, we say we want things, but are we actually taking full action on the things that we want and making it happen? So that was something I wanted to share with you. All right, and then as tradition, we're gonna do some build-ups and some shout-outs. I want to start by giving a shout out to everyone who's finishing up Rock the Basics. So Rockstar job to you. Are there any other shout outs that anybody has? Pam? Oh, sorry, I'm like scanning.
No, my hand was way above here. Shout out to Sarah for hitting 2-star.
Yes, that's amazing.
Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. Well, Pam, you're a huge part of the reason why. So that's awesome. I'll just take it from here. I would love, you asked this like right when my kids are like jumping all over me, but I would love to give a shout out to Heather. I actually just posted about it in the team page. She posted her results, and I know that's not easy for people to do. So I think that that's awesome. I have several people in Rock the Basics too, and I won't name them all off, but I know you just said it's great that everybody's finishing up, and just the consistency I've seen with Rock the Basics this month especially has been really awesome.
Awesome. Yes, definitely. And Heather, your transformation was amazing. So awesome. Anybody else? Kim?
I want to give a shout out to Lindsay for busting through some big, scary things and going live today on her page for the first time. Well, second time. First time she was in song with her husband, but this time she was like bearing her soul. So, she's really come through a lot of mental barriers and being fearful of that. And I am so proud of her for, crushing through those fears and just living in the moment and being awesome. So good job, Linz.
Definitely. I'm excited that you brought that up, because I was talking to Lindsay. If you didn't know, Lindsay's my sister. So we talked briefly on the phone today, and I'm going to be talking about being vulnerable tonight. So, and I was going to mention on that. So perfect. Anybody else?
Shout out to all my coaches that are on here. Sorry, I'm talking a little quieter. I hope you can hear me. I'm in a coffee shop right now. But shout out to all my coaches on here, the Rock the Basics crew. They've been rocking it. And then also to Lauren for hosting this call tonight. I know it takes a lot to get out of your shell and to be able to host something like this and be so real and raw and share with us. So thank you, and blessings to you, girl, as you share with us tonight.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited to share. Hopefully I'm not too scatterbrained. I'm used to working with first graders, so. All right. Anyone else?
Yeah, I want to shout out to one of my personally sponsored coaches, Tanya, who I see on this call. She is such a hard charger, and she just takes every opportunity to grow as a coach, and she still works a full-time job and is so motivated to do this, and I'm just so proud of the progress she's made and how determined she is to keep making progress.
That's so awesome. Way to go, Tanya. All right, anyone else? Nope. Okay, I think we will go ahead and get started. Okay, so I want you really quick, I want you to raise your hand if you struggled with fitness or nutrition before becoming a coach. Oh my goodness, look at all those hands. Okay, so where I'm going with this tonight is when we start our journeys with Beachbody, the biggest thing that we share is our journey through health and fitness. And I just want you to remember how much easier it got when you started sharing that journey and you had a team that was holding you accountable and a team that was supporting you. Made a big difference, right? Okay, so tonight I'm going to be talking about being vulnerable and sharing pieces of your life that's really intimidating and really outside of your comfort zone. So for me, if you are friends with me on Facebook, you know that my husband and I have been struggling with infertility, and that we just recently tried IVF and it didn't work first round. And so I kind of want to share with you the process of going through this journey and sharing it, because it was terrifying to share something like that, because you never hear of anyone sharing that publicly unless they're like famous. Like, honestly, when I think of it that way, like it's crazy that I shared it. But I want to first start by sharing something with you. Back in October, I did a training. Oh, thanks, Kim. Yes, we're not done. That was just first round. I did a training back in, I think it was like November, and it was a diamond training. And this honestly was my favorite one of all the trainings that I've done. And they really talked about like finding your niche, finding the people that you want to reach. And so I want to first start by sharing something that kind of changes the game for me. Let me share screen here quick. Okay. So I can't see it. There we go. Okay. So, and then it didn't work. Okay. All right. So something I'm going to start this by is talking about an avatar. And I've been talking to a lot of my coaches about this recently. So an avatar is the person that you are trying to reach in all of your posts. So we had an assignment to make an avatar for ourselves. Basically, it is like an animated, quote unquote, animated version of yourself. And they just have the same type of interest as you. So basically, you're picking qualities from yourself that you enjoy about yourself, or maybe struggles that you had. So you're going to make a list of your characteristics if you haven't already made an avatar. Some ideas: what your age, are you married, are you single, do you have kids, do you have hobbies, your likes, your interests, what's your personality type, are you shy, outgoing, motivated, and you're being as specific as possible. So we were asked to make our own avatars. We made up a name for them, and then you were really specific in things about yourselves, different characteristics. So here's an example. It says, meet Blair. She's 30 years old, newly married, has no kids yet, loves animals, especially dogs, silly, likes to make people laugh, loves to throw a good party, is outgoing but insecure at times, chronic yo-yo dieter. So if you're thinking, as going through this, can you connect with this person? That's what I did. I think this was the one I looked at, and I just kind of came up with ideas that were about myself. So those are some examples. Former athlete, not vulnerable, has great relationships with friends, loves wine and specialty beers, loves techie things, enjoys to cook, but wants to keep it simple, okay? So that is an example. I don't know why it's not letting me go. There we go. Okay, so this is actually Lindsay's avatar. Font's a little small, so I'll do my best, I'm sorry. But basically, she wrote, has marriage struggles, participated in counseling with spouse. So when she's posting her anything, her post should be targeting anything that's written on her avatar. Enjoys being outside and playing with her kids, loves bow hunting, some days wonders if she's a good mom. So she's gonna try to hit those people who question, or maybe are a little insecure about their parenting. Does not make friends easily, tries to be a friend to people and feels left out, lacks confidence in social situations. So again, her posts are gonna reflect her sharing that type of journey. So just a couple other things, dislikes onions, olives, and coconuts. Likes high intensity cardio and plyo. Former high school athlete, loves volleyball, occasionally likes to run. So those are some examples of, this is Des, this is hers. So some examples: enjoys cooking, especially healthy food, rejects negativity and aims to be positive, obsessed with Friends and health documentaries, loves to decorate and live in a cute space. If you're not muted, can you guys mute? I don't know. Oh, I think I got it. Okay. Okay. Thrift store junkie and TJ Maxxinista. Desires self-improvement, struggles with self-doubt and fear of failure, faith in God, loves fitness and eating healthy food, likes fruit. So if you look at Dez's Facebook page, you would probably be able to go through and figure out that and see different traits from her avatar, things that are important to her. And then this one's mine. This is actually my old one. It's pretty similar, but it wouldn't let me upload my new one. The reason I changed it is because I have, like, my avatar, I'd like them to be age 15 to 35. Well, I don't really want to work with a 15-year-old. It just kind of, you adjust things as you go. Married to my best friend, so you'll see me posting about my husband and I and how we were high school sweethearts. Former athlete, so I really focus on the team aspect and how I miss having that from high school. I don't like confrontation. I love romantic comedies. I love coffee. I love wine. I'm excited to start a family. You'll see me posting about fixer-upper and crafting, just things that are important to me and my little quirks. And then the one thing that's not on here that is on my new one is infertility and IVF. So there's that. All right, so now I've kind of given you some ideas on what an avatar is. And my goal for you is, if you don't have an avatar created, go to canva.com, go to pickmonkey.com and make one, because it changes the game for thinking of ideas of what to post. Because every post that I make is going along with I'm trying to reach Peyton every time. So it just makes posting a lot easier. All right. Okay, so this is where I got started with sharing our infertility. So I first started with trying to do some breadcrumbing, which is basically you find little bits and pieces of your story and you just give a little bit. I knew that I wanted to share about infertility. I just didn't know how, and I didn't want to just be like, bam, we're going through infertility issues and just like, set everybody off guard. But here's what I found with this, and I'll read it to you really quick. So I've been doing a lot of reflecting lately about the things in life that are or aren't happening. It's easy to question our outcomes and wonder why me. Through lots of prayers, I've come to a conclusion. Sometimes no just means not yet. I believe with all my heart and soul that God has a greater plan than the picture we paint in our heads. Trust in Him. He always has a plan. Things happen the way they are meant to happen. So I went into this thinking, hey, this is a really great post. Well, I had people reach out to my parents thinking that something was seriously wrong with me. So breadcrumbing, I think, works great if you do it the right way. So if I were to do it again, I don't know, I would do it differently so it's not so vague. If that makes sense. And then, so initially when this whole thing started, I had listened to a call by Lindsay Matway, and I can't remember what it was called. If you want to listen to it, let me know and I can find it for you. But it was a national wake-up call, and she was talking about how a coach's responsibility isn't just, fitness and weight loss. It's helping others, and it's sharing the things that other people are not willing to share. And it just hit me like a ton of bricks, and I was just like, you know what? I just felt this in my gut that I needed to share it. So I did, and this is what I ended up posting. Like, it took me a few months to be able to do this, and when I posted, I was literally shaking the entire time. So I won't read this whole thing with you, but basically it was right before New Year's, and my caption was next year's goals. Here, let me move this so you can see it. Baby bump or six pack. So
I'm watching a call, so we might want to go somewhere else. Sorry. Did you trip?
Hold on.
Or
someone. Okay. So, basically, I was trying to do it in a funny way, but at the same time, like, I ended this post that says, please know that the reason I'm sharing my story is because so many couples suffer in silence. If you're feeling this way, please know that you're not alone. Success stories, prayers, thoughts of encouragement are welcome. So, but I found that, and actually, sorry, I'm like losing my train of thought here, but I listened to a call from Shalene Johnson earlier this week, and she was talking about sharing your story. And she basically said, if you haven't learned a lesson, or if you don't have, what did she say? She said, if you don't have something that you learned from it or a message, then you shouldn't be sharing it. So if you're going through something and it's, like I said, if I would have just come out and said, we're going through infertility, like life sucks, like I wouldn't have been successful with it all. Like people probably would have stopped following me and thought, man, her life is depressing. I don't want to have that weighing heavy on my heart. So basically you just need to, if you're going to share something vulnerable, you need to find something positive in it, and you need to share what you've learned with it. So my very first post, I saying success stories, prayers, thoughts of encouragement are welcome. Basically telling people, like, I want your support in this, and kind of just putting it out there, like, I want positive vibes only. So I'm just going to kind of show you my journey a little bit through this. I'll try not to make it too long. So this was the next one. So this was when we first had a phone call from our pharmacy, which if you have ever had a friend do IVF, I'm so thankful we have insurance. But if we would have paid for just the injections for 1 week without insurance, we would have paid close to $7,000. So luckily we just had to pay for copay, but like when I heard that, I was on the phone and my jaw just like hit the floor. But again, I put a positive twist on here, and you know, sharing the journey was hard at first, but it ended up being something that I think I needed to help with my coping and to just have support from other people. And I think it helped me reflect and realize like the most important thing is that I have Caleb in my life. Like we're going through this together, and I never felt alone, if that makes sense. So there's that. And then this was actually during the Own It group. It says, be fearless. And I talked about how coaching gave me courage. And it's 100% true. Like, I would have never posted about this journey if it wasn't for coaching. And it's just kind of crazy. And that, you know, I'm a religious person, and I truly believe like God gave me Beachbody as a platform to share this journey with other people who are struggling. So, you know, when I hear the statistics that 1 in 8 people struggle with this, it made it a lot easier to start sharing it. So, and then this was during the journey. So this is like 3 days of injections. Like it pretty much makes your body feel like you're already pregnant, and you get every pregnancy sign, but you're not pregnant. So, I mean, this was tough posting that. And I felt like it was really hard posting any progress pictures or any prior transformation pictures that I'd ever done, because I felt like, well, I'm not looking that fit anymore. But I think that it was really relatable to those people who go through IVF and they're not sharing how, like, I can only imagine people who are doing it and they're not into fitness, what they would be feeling if I didn't share this, if I didn't share that struggle of the weight gain, if I didn't show the struggle of the mentality, the mental battle that I was going through. Like, it makes it worth it to share, because I know that I'm helping other people. All right. This one. Yes. If you know of what progesterone shots are, basically you get a shot right above your tushy, and this is like an action shot, which cracks me up. But I threw some humor in there too, because that's just Caleb and I. That's just what we do. And then this was like what I would call the failing forward. When we found out that it didn't work, I initially like wanted to dig myself into a hole, and I kept thinking, why in the world did I share this? Like, I have to tell everybody that it didn't work. And it was really hard to be able to share this, but honestly, once I shared it, I had so much support and so many comforting words from so many people. Like, I can't imagine what it would have been like if I hadn't been sharing it, which is so weird. But basically I was like, this is hard, but you know, and I just put my faith into God and just said, we know that this is going to work. We just don't know when. You know, all we can do is pray, be hopeful, and believe that His plan is far greater than ours. So that is that. Let me stop my screen share. It's not gonna let me. All right, there we go. So, oh my goodness, lots of chats. You guys are sweet. I'm going to have to read through those later. Okay, so I'm proud of myself right now because I didn't cry through that. But I just want to give you some ideas, because clearly not everyone is going to struggle with in vitro. Not everyone is going to struggle with infertility. So I want to kind of give you some ideas. And the reason I showed you Avatar is because we all have struggles. We all do. None of us are perfect. And on your avatar, you should have something that you've either overcome or something that you're currently struggling with. So with Beachbody, our journeys really started with weight loss, but it doesn't end there. It doesn't end there at all. And I just want to express to you to be vulnerable and to find out what your struggles were or what they are. And the cool thing about it is that you get to inspire people and you get to give them hope. And it's so crazy because growing up, I was the shyest person on the planet. Like, I literally was the child who would try to hide underneath my mom's dress because I did not want people to stare at me. Like, I didn't want to talk to anybody. Like, that was me 100%. And it's just kind of crazy because I'm a blue personality. So I grew up really shy with a lot of insecurities, and it's crazy because I've shared and because I've made myself so fearless in this, I've had people reach out to me and tell me I'm the strongest person that they know. And I'm not saying that to be like arrogant or cocky. I'm saying that because that's because of Beachbody. Like, that would not have happened without it. And I never would have thought that I would have been someone who would be a person of influence like that. So, and then also, so I said earlier, you have to, solution was the word I was looking for. You have to give a lesson or a solution with your struggle. You can't just share your struggle and call it good. You have to give some type of positivity with it. And then just a side note, like, I think of the American dream, and I've thought about this a lot. Like, people love rooting for the underdog. And I can't even tell you, since starting sharing all of this, I've built so many new relationships because of sharing it. I found a community of people who are struggling with it too. And it surprisingly ended up building my network too. I had friends of friends who would add me because they were struggling with infertility. And it's just, yeah, like, so many great outcomes happened from it. And when you're real and raw like that, if someone decides later that they're ready to start their fitness journey, they're going to come to the person who is real and raw. I remember right after we found out that it didn't work, I got on the Diamond Zoom, and like, if you were on there, like, I completely just like broke down, and I was like, who in the world would want to follow me? Like, who in the world would want to join my team? Like, I'm sitting here putting this all out in the line, you know, like, no one's going to want to join me. And I can't remember who said it, but they had gone to a Super Saturday with this very well-known coach who's very successful. And she was telling the story about how she had been talking to someone and they were interested in coaching. And this gal ended up signing up through somebody else. And she asked her later, well, why did you sign up with her and not me? Like, I thought we had this close relationship. And she was like, well, you just seemed too perfect. And it was such a great reminder, because as coaches, we want to share the good. We want to share the things that we're overcoming and the things that are going really well. It's really hard for us to share our struggles and to be vulnerable. But when you do that, it opens the door. It shows people that you're real. So, let me see. I jotted down a ton of notes. I just want to make sure I get them all. Okay, so like I said, not everyone struggles with infertility. So I have a couple of examples for you. These are people on my team. Some of them have shared them already. Some of them are getting ready to share these stories publicly. My coach, Nick, he struggles with anxiety and has struggled with depression. So he's starting to kind of share that journey. Kristen is getting ready to post her postpartum belly pictures. She's been coaching since I think November, and she's posted pictures of transformation before, but she's never done postpartum belly picture, and she has one from 5 weeks postpartum. So be watching for her. She's going to be posting that by Sunday. So Liz shares about her tough childhood. And remember, these people are also putting a positive twist on it. Like Liz shares how she's overcome that and how life is different now. Kaylee, she is getting ready to share about an unhealthy relationship that she had in high school. She dated someone for a really long time, and it wasn't, it was, I would say, a toxic relationship. And it was the only boyfriend that she'd ever had, and she didn't know anything different. And now, and they were actually engaged. She broke off the engagement and is now married to an amazing guy and has 2 kids with him. So she's getting ready to share that. Lindsay shares about how she's an introvert, and she just did a first live video about that struggle and mentioned her marital struggles. So, and then I have a newer coach on my team that is diabetic. So she wants to help people with that struggle. So other ideas, depression, you could talk about eating disorders, just any other ideas that you have. Does anybody, hold on, 1 second. I'm going to give you an action list first, and then I'll open it up for you guys. Okay, so I have 2 things that I want you to do after this call. If you haven't already, I want you to make an avatar. And I can post a couple of examples. I'll do a post with some examples. And then I want you to come up with a list of what struggles you can share. So, like I said, it took me several months to be able to share that. But I want you to know, like, I had so many positive outcomes from it. Like, don't be afraid. Good things come from it. And honestly, I had maybe 1 or 2 naysayers, 1 or 2, and I had I can't even count the amount of positive feedback that I got from all of it. So if you come up with your list, I'll have you post it after this. I'll do a graphic for it. And then if you're getting ready to post something and you're not quite sure, you can check with your upline. I know before I posted my first one, I sent it to several people that I trusted. I think I sent it to Lindsay, I sent it to Julianne, just kind of got their idea, made sure that I had something positive in there. And you can also post to the team page. So, and just remember that you can lean on the team. It's a safe place for everyone. So just know that it's a good place to start. So does anybody have any questions or comments?
Lauren, I just first of all wanted to say thank you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure. First of all, thank you so much for being real and raw. I know I speak for everybody on this call when I say that you are inspiring so many people and that so many people are learning from you and look up to you a lot. So thank you for sharing. And number 2, for making your list of struggles for everybody who's on, and obviously share this with other people too. Don't be afraid to be you. I think people get so scared of, their past and things that they feel like they're defined by. Don't be scared to be you. And just also know, I'm speaking for this because I know Lauren and I both had some struggles this past year with coworkers for our full-time job, not understanding when we started becoming more real and raw about our journey and our struggles and putting a positive spin on it. For those of you that might be insecure or nervous about posting about those things, just know that this team is so supportive, and the amount of people that I've been able to weed out of my network that I thought were people who loved me and cared about me, it was the hardest thing in the world, but it was the best thing that we could have done. And I know, Lauren, you can relate to this too, but this team is the most supportive group of people you will ever meet, and nothing that you say, nothing that you share is going to be held against you, that we all love you and care about you and support you. So I just wanted to make sure that people know that they have that support system no matter what. So.
Absolutely. Yes. So, and another thing, going off what you said, Liz, like when you start as a coach, it's really like, I know for me, I would get ideas from other people on the team, which is awesome. I still do that from time to time, but having your own avatar makes your posting more uniquely you. And it's what makes you different from everybody else. So, anybody else questions or comments? By the way, you guys are so sweet for all of the comments on the side. You guys are so quiet. No? Okay. Well, I will do a post in Team Happy and Fit right after the Zoom. And I will go ahead and put your 2 action lists. Obviously, your avatar it will take you a little bit longer, so I'll make the timeline a little bit longer for that. So maybe by the end of the weekend or something. So, all righty. Well, thanks for hopping on, guys, and I will see you guys soon. Bye. All right.